Good morning and welcome to Coronado Springs Resort. This is another one in our series where we're kind of showing you what you're going to be getting at some of the resorts around Orlando and beyond. So we're going to be checking out amenities, shopping, dining, all that good stuff. And this resort's theme is going to be Spanish, Mexican, and Southwest American. So it's got some really cool architectures. So come on in and experience it with us. So one thing I would quickly want to mention is we do have a new tower that I kind of have mixed feelings about, but at least this one looks very nice. They actually moved all of reception up to this tower, so if you're coming to stay at this resort, this is where you're going to get dropped off, and this is where you're going to have check-in in this lobby in the bottom of the tower. So as soon as you come in, your check-in's going to be right on the right. I do think this check-in looks very nice. I really like the artwork that glows behind the check-in desk. I think overall this lobby area looks very nice. I'll talk a little bit more of why I don't love this tower, but I do think it's a nice tower, and if you're staying here, it's a nice spot. I do believe the tower is DVC, but the rest of the resort is a normal resort that's been here for a very, very long time. So as we're coming down the stairs, I did want to mention there is a fitness center off to the left side of the lobby, right up there. Then right down here is a bar that is going to serve breakfast from 6:30 to 12. And then we'll be closed for about 3 hours, and then it will be open until 3 p.m. to midnight. And obviously will be more of a bar situation then. I'm sure they'll have little snacks and stuff you can have. And then they do seem to have like a grab and go thing right over here to the very right of it. There's also a steakhouse somewhere in here, but to be 100% with you, not entirely sure where it is. It might be one of those kind of hidden ones because it's a higher end. If you want to see, this is a very nice artwork of Walt and Mickey. But there isn't too much to the bottom part of this tower, so we're actually going to be heading over to the main, I would say more main lobby area of this resort. And we're going to cut through this nice indoor walkway right over here. Well, here's the front area of the tower because I just wanted to show you quickly what they have out here. There's some flat lawn amenities, some nice seating areas and stuff like that. They do have a fire pit right over there. So I'm sure they'll do s'mores because a lot of them do them at these resorts. And we're going to be heading off to the left. So that pool over there will end up kind of towards the end of the video. So if you want to see that, just stay tuned. But one thing I did want to mention with this resort is it is a convention resort. So it's got a huge, huge convention center, and you'll see a lot of people here on work, doing work all around the resort. So it might not bother a lot of people, but I thought it's something just to mention that there is a lot of kind of almost professionalism in this resort. Not like it's going to really affect your stay if you're here going on the park. It's just something to keep in mind. And sometimes those conventions can make this resort insanely busy. So if you keep heading along that pathway from the main tower and the new lobby, you are going to enter what was the old lobby. So this is where reception was before. Now it's been turned into a workspace with lots of tables and kind of private areas. A lot of people can spend time to do work. They have some nice charging stations and stuff like that. So it's nice to see them repurpose the space into something that's very useful, especially for this resort. And right out here again, if you've stayed here before, this is the old drop-off. It is still used a lot for transportation, and a lot of times when you're coming back from the buses from the parks, it can drop you off towards this front entrance area. It does have a very nice fountain with plenty of coins in the bottom of it. And right off to our left is going to be our main merchandise location for this resort. It is a very big merchandise location for some of the ones we've been to so far, having a little bit smaller, but they do have some nice merch here. I actually think those bottles are pretty nice. And this is all going to be obviously exclusive merch just for Coronado. So if you're looking for something to kind of remember where you stayed, or you want something pretty unique that not a lot of people are going to have, the merch exclusive to the resort is going to be kind of a way to do that. And then the rest of the stuff you're going to find in here, it's going to be pretty generic perk merch. You're obviously going to have stuff that's in theme with the hotel, so you're gonna have Coco merch and stuff like that, toys, and then you also do have a counter over here that is for kind of, you know, some easy like grab to go things, lunch meat for your hotel rooms, like chips, dip, bread, stuff like that. Stuff you just could really like need. They also have ice cream. And then, I haven't mentioned this in all the videos, but they do have fuel rod locations in all the hotels. I would always suggest getting a fuel rod if you're going to be here for a long vacation. It very much helps keep your phone charged. It's very easy to just swap them out because Disney still offers free swaps on them. Just a reminder though, if you're going to Disney and Universal, Universal does charge you to swap. So if you're planning to go to Universal next day, just make sure you swap yours in the morning or something when you're still here and not have to swap it there at the park because then you have to pay a swap fee over there. And downright just connected to that merch location, we are going to have like a bakery situation with some grab-to-go bites. It's going to have a lot of bakery, items, stuff for breakfast. This is also going to have coffee, so this will be a hot spot in the mornings. Lots of different options. This isn't a Starbucks location. That's something just to keep in mind, that this is not a Starbucks. It's a lot of these end up being Starbucks, but this one is not. And we've got spots to refill your resort cups. Just right down the walkway now. And we come across two dining locations. One's going to be a sit down that is going to be a sports grill. I've never actually eaten here. Never really been one that I've been wanting to eat at. I don't know if I've ever heard bad things. But if you're looking, to watch a sports game or something later at night or even in the mornings before you head to the resort, this is probably a great spot to do so. They have a lot of large TVs. Off to the right of that is going to be our kind of quick service location that's going to be open pretty late in the night, all the way until 11. Opens all the way up at 7 o'clock for you to, be able to get breakfast before you head to the parks if you want it before. Obviously, this is going to be kind of your bog standard quick service. It's going to have some more unique items, this one with the theme of the resort, but it's still going to be, resort food. It's going to be okay. And then obviously you can buy your resort cups over here you can refill your entire stay at any of the resort cup locations. It does not work inside the parks though. I would leave them here at the resort because you're not going to be able to use them in the parks. That's just a friendly reminder. But I've always thought this is one of the better dining locations because it has a little bit more of options other than some of the other resorts that's just like burger, chicken, pasta. Like it's not anything unique. So definitely a little bit better options over here. And then all the way at the end of that location, we do have the main kind of nice dining location here. This is going to be a little more upscale, a little more expensive. So you're definitely going to have reservations for all this. But it is a nice looking dining location. It will be opening up later in the night. So they're open only from 5 to 10. So definitely one you want a little bit later in the night. But we're going to be heading outside now, because that's kind of that main lobby area. I consider that more of the main lobby than the one over at the resort, just because you just want to check in over there, and that's basically it. Everything else you're going to be coming over here for. Any conventions that you might have been, you probably saw it when we were next to the Sports Grill. Convention Center's back there, long convention hall. If you're staying here for resorts, don't worry about that. But if you happen to come here on a convention, that's where you're going to be going, right next to the Sports Grill. And as we're outside, I just want to quickly mention that there is a bar right over here on the water. Going to be open in the evenings, obviously. No morning drinkers here at the resort. But it's just a nice little bar out here on the water. That's something to keep in mind. We're not going to quite head out onto the water yet. We're actually going to be heading off to the left to check out one of the pools. And then we will be heading out onto the water, out onto the restaurant out there, and then heading to the main pool all the way beyond it. I do not believe this is considered a very expensive resort. It's kind of in that in-between section where it's not quite, so cheap that it looks like All Stars, but it's not quite staying at like contemporary or Polynesian level of resort. So you can get that kind of in-between. I do think this has some very nice in-between areas with lots of lighting and theming. And I just think overall the buildings look great. I believe they repainted these not too long ago, so they're looking very fresh and nice. But these are going to be your more standard Disney hotel rooms. We'll, again, be showing pictures at the end of the video. So if you want to see those, stay tuned till the end. I'll be showing kind of generic rooms and then some of the more luxury rooms as I wrap up. But these, again, are going to be kind of your standard, like two bed, Just kind of generic looking Disney hotel room. On our way to the pool, I did find a map, so I'm going to quickly just kind of show you what the situation with this resort is. So this is the tower. That's where we started. We head down here. This is the main kind of lobby area that I was calling it, with the main dining locations and stuff. This is all convention center. Don't worry about this if you're just staying here normally. And it's basically just a big lap around the lake. That's what this resort is. We're heading to this pool right down here, and then we'll be heading across to the lake area, checking out the main pool. There's a pool back here that we'll try to check out as long as we have time. Pool there, and then back to the main tower. So all the kind of tower areas seem to have their own pool. That is just going to be, no offense, a boring pool. If you like boring pools, then this is up your alley. It's just going to be kind of a basic swimming pool. Not too deep, but deep enough that you can kind of get fully in, with some nice seats around the side, in the pool and out of the pool. Again, not huge, but this isn't really meant to be a pool you go and party in or anything. This is kind of just, hey, I'm hot after the park, I want to jump in a pool kind of thing. And I do think that serves a great purpose, because a lot of people get out of the parks and they're tired, but they could take that dip and it would make them feel really good. So I always appreciate that they put those pools there. I do think the main pool that we're going to come up to after we head out on the lake is a very, very nice pool. Well, I guess it's time to talk about one thing I don't love about this resort, but I've learned to like it more as time's gone on. So before I stayed here, before pre-tower, and it was very nice just because it felt like a real resort, because they had a big lake. It felt very small, tight, compact. You know, it didn't feel as much like a big value, big resort. And then they added this tower on the end. So it's not bad, but it really obstructs the sight line. Like, I believe last time I stayed here, it was kind of back here in one of these buildings, but you would come out and you could sit on a bench and you could just see all the way across the lake into like nothing in the horizon, and it looked amazing with all the foliage and stuff. I do like the tower. I do think they at least theme the tower. I think the inside's very nice, but I do kind of miss those days of there being nothing on the lake and no tower. But here is our little restaurant here on the lake. There is a menu right over here. We'll go walk and check it out. And this is, I believe, again, another new addition. I believe they had a path out here for a long time to be able to get to the pools and stuff, because it would be awful to have to walk all the way around and stuff when you're trying to get to the pools. I believe this is more of a bar situation, and this is going to be open in the afternoons. You'll find that at a lot of the resorts, just because there's not really a reason to keep them open in the mornings and stuff, because people are at the parks, obviously, other than people checking in. 4:30 to 12 a.m. At the current moment, it does look like it's a replaceable sign. But I've heard good things about this one, and it's got a fantastic view of the lake area. And even if you don't love the tower, I do think it looks kind of nice with all the theming and stuff along it if you're sitting out here. And they do have heaters and stuff for when it is cold, like it is going to be tonight. But overall, a nice venue. But again, just kind of a little gripe with this hotel for me. So now we're going to be kind of skipping this back left part right over there, because there's nothing really over there for us to see. We're going to be heading straight to the dig site. That is going to be the main pool. It's also going to have the arcade over here. And this is kind of one of the areas of this resort. Is the reason I love this resort so much is the pool area. So as we're coming up on the pool, there is a nice kind of enclosed volleyball court there. There's people playing, so I'm not going to try to film too much. But I do like that they have that, because that's something you might be into and you might like. And again, overall, this is one of my favorite poolside areas. I think the architecture and the options you have over here is fantastic. So we're going to check it out real quick. So right as we're walking in, there is going to be kind of a spa area over here. So if you're looking for a spa, you'll be right to the side of the pool. We do have a bar / like poolside dining location. It's going to have some quick service food, chicken tenders, you know, the normal. Then it's also going to have any mixed drinks you might want. And then over on our right is going to be our main pool, that I do think is, again, a magnificent looking pool. I love this pool. Pretty big, so I have seen this thing get completely packed to the brim though, even with it being so big. Obviously today it is fairly cold, so the people in it are very brave. And then they've got this huge Mayan temple over here with a waterfall coming off that goes straight into the pool. Again, I just think this looks amazing. This is one of the reasons, again, I like this resort so much. There is, you can't quite see it from this angle, hopefully we can get a shot from it from the other side. There is a slide that's gonna come down right over on this side of the temple. I do kind of wish it went through it, but I don't believe it really does. It kind of just goes off to the side. They have a kids play area over here that I think is one of the nicer ones at the resorts, with it being pretty well themed. They have curling, that's kind of random, but it's there. And then they have ping pong out here too. Restrooms off to the side here. It's actually got a really cool themed slide there at the kids area too. And then here is our arcade. We'll head inside real quick. I'll show you the arcade. Just kind of your normal basic arcade for a lot of these resorts. A little bit smaller than I think most of them. Good to also mention on the side of the bar area there is a refill for your resort mugs and a washing station that I always think is very nice because I like to wash out my mug every time I use it. So we've kind of been heading along this walkway along the dig site, kind of on the back side, just to get to these back kind of resort areas. These are going to be a little bit smaller towers. I believe these are where the bigger rooms are, I want to say. So if you're staying in a bigger room, I believe they are back here in this kind of back corner here. We're going to check out both the other pools and then show you one of the bus stops that you can take back here. And then we honestly don't have much more. It is a much more condensed resort that I honestly much prefer. And if you're staying on these back cabana areas, there is an entrance for the dig site that's kind of on the back site, so you don't have to walk all the way around to the front. You can actually see a map of it there, and that X is kind of where we are. So it's nice to have that back entrance if you're staying back here, so you're not having to, you know, walk all the way around just to get to it and then have to walk all the way back, because it's just extra walking. I will say this back side of the resort is the part of the resort I personally prefer. I think it is very nice. I've never stayed, I don't think, on the back side here, but I think it is a very, very nice looking side of it. I love the hills that kind of roll along. It just looks so much more like homey. So it kind of, I don't know, it invokes that feeling of heading home kind of more than some of the other hotel rooms towards the front that very much look like hotel rooms, where this looks like a nice, like almost neighborhood back here. So before we actually head in and look at the pool real quick, it's just another small one. I wanted to show you the impressive theming back in this back area. I believe this is called the Ranchos. Correct me if I'm saying that completely wrong, because that's so my bad. There's laundry here. Again, all the tower areas, I believe, have their own laundry. So again, I think that's a super nice staying here, that they have these nice laundry areas if you want to do laundry while you're here. And again, I love the theming back here. It really looks great. This kind of reminds me of some of the nicer in-between areas at some of the higher end resorts. But again, there's the theming, like kind of riverbed back here in this bridge. And then all the nice rock work and trees everywhere. It looks very, very nice. So since there's nobody up here, I figured we'd get a little closer to the pool. I don't usually like filming pools with people in them, just because, you know, they're trying to have a nice time at the resorts. I don't want to be, you know, be the weirdo that's filming them. But it's, I mean, again, another kind of basic one. This one does have some nice like rock work and some tables and stuff. So it's a little nicer than the last one in my opinion. And obviously, again, the theming on all these buildings is fantastic around. It really makes it feel a little bit more condensed and homey back here. All right, well, we're heading to our last section of the resort. And then we got a nice little beach area, and then we'll be just about done. Again, just to give you a little bit of ray finding, right beyond those buildings there is where that pool was. So we're kind of still back here in this corner. This is our last, like, kind of resort, like, I don't know what to call them, like little areas where they're condensed buildings. Right all the way back here, as you're heading along the walkway, is going to be our bus stop. I thought I would just quickly show you. There is one back here, and show you what it looks like. So here's a look at our bus stop 4. So I believe there's 4 or 5 bus stops along our route here. Buses come quite frequently to this resort. As I've just walked back here, there was 3 buses that stopped. Obviously, with the Disney transportation system, they do have TVs in these bus stations that show you when the next bus to that next spot that you're trying to get to is, that I, again, think that's a fantastic way to, you know, appease people. Because and I almost think they're always on time, at least in my experience. I've never had one, like, I had to wait a long time or anything for. But we're heading to our last, again, resort area to check out that pool. And then we've got a little beach area along our way. So on our way to our last little pool, they do have this nice beach area. They have these at a lot of the resorts, just kind of a nice beach area. A lot of people come to Florida, they're expecting, you know, tropical feels. That's what you're gonna get along this beach, with some actually very nice looking hammocks that are actually cushioned. And I think that's very nice. You're just gonna get some nice views, especially down with sunrise and stuff. And at night, you're gonna get very nice views of the lake out here. I don't have any really reason to get into the pool area with this one, because again, it's almost identical. A little less rock work. They have obviously towels all by the pools. I believe this building on our left is the laundry place too. So you can get laundry done right next to the pool. But again, just another nice little pool and another nice one of the areas. Well, that does it for our Coronado Springs tour. This one's not as long as some of the others because it's really a condensed resort, and I honestly love that. I love that the walkways are easy to get to. I love the cut-throughs. I love that it's a little more condensed. It's not so spread out. Some people are gonna enjoy a spread out resort because it makes everything feel a little less busy, but at least in my experience, I prefer everything to be condensed kind of in a smaller area because it just helps with walkability of the whole place, and overall just, you know, amenities being condensed is just nice for you because you don't have to walk as much. Obviously, as you can see behind me and also all over right now, you're gonna be seeing some pictures of the rooms from Disney. This is all from their website and their listings. But again, I think this is honestly one of the nicer resorts here at Disney World. Again, it just depends on what you're looking for and what kind of vibe you're looking for. But this is much more, on my opinion, something I enjoy because it's a little bit more of a relaxing resort. Things are condensed, you're not having to walk too far if you're trying to get somewhere. And it's just, again, a really nice looking resort that got repainted, and they did fantastic on everything in this resort. Only gripe is the tower, but it has grown on me a bit as time has passed. So, thanks for watching. I hope this video brought a little more joy into your day, and we'll see you guys next time.